So, as you can see, I'm on the bike, the Kawasaki ZZR 600. It's an old bike, but it's still a good bike. It's got quite a bit of power, around 100 horsepower or something like that. So it can move, and as you well are aware, there has been a lot of propaganda campaigns about me and my bike over the last couple of days, broadcasted by this never-ending program, which is controlled by a conglomerate of states and intelligence agencies, constantly spreading propaganda and psyops, and always implicating me in quotes as being the main protagonist, despite having little to no involvement in the campaign's narratives whatsoever. But fundamental things like me having a motorbike and where I live and what my name is and things that are kind of that nature are obviously featuring in the intelligence agencies' propaganda campaigns. And it's funny how they are constantly proclaiming how I'm going to have my bike confiscated, and I suspect that they are claiming to do this through my speeding. But the fact remains, since I have had my bike, I haven't had a single speeding ticket, nor have I been pulled over by the police. And obviously I'm well aware of how easy it is to speed on a motorbike. It doesn't take many seconds and you are a lot over the speed limit. So one has to be careful, of course, not driving too fast, and obviously being aware of your surroundings. So obviously I'm doing those things, and so the likelihood of having my bike confiscated by the police is very slim, very slim. But that doesn't seem to change or deter the government from spreading these kinds of propaganda campaigns. And I suppose it is, if they say something and they claim something in advance that hasn't happened yet, then they put pressure on other authorities like the normal police to spend all kind of resources on following me and what have you, just in the hopes that I may lose my bike on some off chance that I be speeding. For me to lose my bike in this regard, I would have to go 100% over the speed limit, and anything above 100 kilometers an hour in a 50 zone, I could have my bike confiscated. So I have to go 180 on the B roads that I've just been driving on, or 200 on the motorway. So you see, it takes quite a bit, and it's not something that just happens on accident. Sure, you can speed on accident and get a ticket and have points on your license by accident, but getting your bike confiscated wouldn't be an accident. You really have to floor it, and I don't have any intention of doing that at all. So me losing my bike on that flimsy pretext ain't gonna happen. But yeah, that's not going to deter the government from spending all kinds of resources on me, and it's not going to deter them from claiming all sorts of things in regards to me and this bike, exactly the same way they do about every other thing. You know, how I'm just endlessly being labelled guilty for every crime under the sun without there ever being a single case, and instead you just have endless propaganda campaigns and psyops. As you well know, there is nothing. The program is not really material. It's just propaganda mainly. And as I said, they will use fundamental facts that people are aware of, and like these basic things like my name, where I live, what I drive, where I'm going at in my daily life. Do I go boxing training? Do Do I go to Thai boxing? Those things are obviously going to be centering in their propaganda campaigns as the fundamental building blocks, and they're just going to build on that. So yeah, the madness continues, and all I can do really is make these videos and show my face in public, and that to a certain extent goes a long way in showing that that my actual reality is not even remotely as being proclaimed by these intelligence agencies and governments who want to project me as being some kind of complete bum who doesn't have any control over my own bodily functions, or don't have any kind of skills in life, and yeah, and the list goes on and on and on. But in fact, I'm even under these circumstances that I'm living under, I'm still progressing. So I'm achieving things even under these extremely bizarre and unfair circumstances which I live in. And obviously they are not very happy about these things, so they want to take my bike, and they want to have me kicked out of my home. They want to ruin my business, small business, one-stop engine shop, and they want me have me kicked out of the training, and they are doing everything they possibly can to achieve these things by their normal methods of dirty tricks and propaganda, and yeah, and constantly trying to instigate conflicts between me and other people, be it at training, be it in the supermarket, being anybody in my surroundings. It really doesn't matter. Anybody goes, and anybody who they have the perception of not following their rules and regulations are going to be featured in their propaganda campaign. And that's just how it goes in this completely insane saga, which is the political and social persecution of me, Stephen Bell.